Well, I think we can emphasize experiences and values that are rooted in the American experience and our history and draw on both sides of history. History is warning of what can go wrong, but also just as importantly as being full of examples of how we can do better. And maybe the biggest thing of all is that you can't have one without the other. You can't understand the courage of the leaders of the civil rights movement without understanding the darkness of what they were up against. All of the most inspiring and greatest moments in America have been moments in which we were facing down some of our darkest demons as a country. And I think we're facing down some pretty dark demons as a country right now. In terms of principles, I'm a big believer in continuing to think in terms of freedom, not just negative conceptions of freedom from, where although there's a lot to be said on that, especially as we're trying to really assert what it means to not have a king in this country, but also freedom too. What your government needs to look like to give you the freedom to raise a child and do so affordably, the freedom to live a life of your choosing and marry who you want to marry and have the kind of education that you could get to do any number of things that you want to do with your life, whether you want to be a politician or a historian or an artist or an engineer or an astronaut, whatever it's going to be. Um, those kind of thicker forms of freedom versus just the way it's been talked about most of my life, where freedom is just about avoiding a rule or a regulation, I think are a really important way to build consensus or at least appeal to shared values, but also entail some very specific policies, which some people are against. And we should have that debate and that argument. And it's in the unfolding of that argument that America gets better and stronger. The biggest thing I would like for people to feel is that it's the very difficulty, unpleasantness to put it mildly, pain might be a better word, of this moment that signals how important it is. And all of the moments in history that we study, admire, romanticize, were pretty brutal to be in the middle of. That's what makes them so interesting. For better or for worse, we're in one of those now. And that should propel us to think more originally as so many things get burned down around us about what we would build instead.